everybody, welcome to Culinary Undertaking. I'm TJ, thanks for watching. Now today's video is going to be part of a larger collaboration. I found out about it from Mitch and Philip over at Kitchen Queers. I don't know if they started it, but that's where I found out the information. So the hashtag will be down in the description, but the video is going to be called hashtag Holiday Side Dish Celebration. So if you click on that hashtag, you'll be able to see anyone that submitted a video under that hashtag. So if you want to get some good ideas for some holiday side dishes this Thanksgiving or Christmas, click the hashtag, check out the other videos. I'm sure all those other channels would sure appreciate it. But today for my side dish, I'm going to show you guys how to make some cranberry sauce. Now I'm going to make mine in the smoker, and we're using real cranberries, none of that stuff in a can. Throw that away. Then this is real easy. There's only a few ingredients. We're going to need a pound of cranberries, a cup of sugar, 1 orange. We're going to need the zest and the juice from the orange. We're going to need some orange liqueur. And then if you choose, I'm using some walnuts. You can use pecans or whatever you want, some other type of a nut to put on top. That's optional. That's up to you. Personally, I prefer the walnuts on top afterwards, but we'll get to that at the end. So now to start, I've got this 2-pound bag of cranberries. Now I know we only need 1 pound, but not all these cranberries are going to be usable. So step number 1 is going to be to open our bag. I'm going to pour mine into a colander, run some water on it, rinse them really well, and then we're going to dig through. You probably won't be able to see it on the video, but I can already see some of these are kind of shriveled up. They look like little raisins. You're going to pull those out. Any that are mushy or gross, use your judgment. And I find the best way is not to stand and look at the cranberries when you're doing it. Just pour them into a colander, run some water on it, and then just run your fingers through it. And you'll feel the mushy ones real fast. I mean, they're in there and you'll find them and just keep pulling them out. And then after that, once all the bad ones are pulled out, then, we're going to guess about 1 pound. And I say guess because this doesn't have to be perfectly 1 pound of cranberries. If it's over or under a little bit, it's not going to matter. It's still going to be fine. And we're going to have enough sugar and orange zest and orange juice in here at the end to offset any of that, that really tart cranberry flavor. So as long as it's close in this recipe, we're going to be fine. So let me get these rinsed off, and then once that's done, you're going to want to get some sort of container and line it with foil, because once this cooks, this is going to be really sticky, and it's much easier just to take that foil and throw it away than it is to sit and soak a pan and scrub off cooked strawberry and sugar liquid off the inside of it. Now I've already got my smoker set at 325. You can obviously do this in the oven or your regular grill or whatever you have to cook in that'll, sort of a baking situation you can do. I'm using the smoker because that's going to give me a little more flavor with this. And if you don't want to do it at 325, you can go a little cooler. You can do it at 300. It'll just take a little longer. You can probably go a little hotter than that, but be careful. You don't want to burn these. Now, a caution that I will tell you, if you've never worked with real raw cranberries before, is inside each little berry, they're hollow in there. So as these start to cook, when they start getting hot, they're going to pop. So be very careful. So if you're going to use the inside of your oven, you may want to put some foil over the top and poke a bunch of holes in it so it'll vent, but that way the cranberries aren't going to pop and splatter, make a mess all over the inside of your oven. So don't say I didn't warn you on that. And then also be very careful whether you're using the oven or however you're doing it. Like I'll take you out and show you in about 20 minutes after these are on the smoker. I'll show you kind of what it's going to look like. And just be very careful when you're checking on it and stirring it, because they can pop and you could get splattered. So be very careful. And it's hot. So the last thing you want is scalding hot little cranberry bursting in your face and getting on you. So just be careful working with them. So let's get these rinsed up, and then I'll show you what we're going to do after that. Alright, so now the cranberries are all rinsed and sorted. Here's the pound that I'm going to save and use. This is what I had left over that were good. And then just to show you, to give you an idea, I had that many bad ones. So I've got more bad than leftover that I saved. So if we figure that's roughly 1 pound, this was the other half. I mean, out of that 2-pound bag, we lost about 1/4 of our berries because they're no good. And make sure you go through there pretty well, because I found some twigs and whatnot in there, so they're definitely not clean. Go through them, take your time and clean them up. But once you have them sorted, now I do this immediately afterwards so that I like my berries to still be wet. That way when we take our pounds of sugar and pour over it, the sugar is going to stick to the berries and not just sit on the bottom of the pan. And so just put the whole cup of sugar in there. I hope you're not diabetic. and then just kind of shake it around, and then you can see the berries are all coated. And then for now, that's it. The rest of the ingredients are going to wait till after. So I'm going to go put these on the smoker, and it'll take 15 or 20 minutes before these really start to do anything. So at that point, I'll take you outside of the smoker and I'll show you what they look like as we're cooking them down. And you're just going to want to stir this around, and we're going to cook them until all the berries have popped and it'll look kind of like a jelly. But I'll show you when we get to that point. Okay, 20-minute check-in. And some of the berries have started to go. You can see there's some liquid in there, but there's still some plain sugar down in there too. But they're definitely getting softer. Some of them have already started giving up their juice there. So just keep at it, let it keep going. Now you want this, you're going to cook this clear down until you don't see any berries anymore. You want them all to be popped. And there shouldn't be any sugar in there. That should all be full of cranberry. Okay, it's been another 20 minutes. And as you can see, the berries look like they've all been popped. There's no visible sugar in the bottom. I'll give a little stir and show you. Now, at this point, we're going to pull it off the heat. We're going to take it inside, let it cool down to where we can handle it, and then we'll finish it up. Okay, so after letting that cool for a few minutes, I transferred it to a bowl, and there's what it looks like. So you can see there's no whole berries in there anymore. And it's still warm, but it's not hot, but it's good enough for us to work with. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our orange, and we're just going to zest our orange right on the top of this. Okay, there's our zest. Now we're just going to cut our orange in half. And then we're going to juice both halves in there. Okay, so our orange zest. Now we need about a tablespoon of our orange liqueur. And you're going to see I'm going to measure this real carefully here. About like that. Give it a mix. Now you'll see at this point it's a little bit, I mean it's definitely liquidier than when we started, but once this cools all the way down and you put it in the refrigerator, it'll thicken back up. And then we just gotta make sure we got everything right. Ooh, perfect. A little bit sweet, a little orangey. Obviously it's cranberry-y, but it's not tart at all. It's more sweet than tart. Perfect. Now, I went ahead and cut up some of the walnuts we had, but I'm not going to put them on here. What I do with that, whether you want to use walnuts or you're going to use pecans or pistachios or cashews, whatever kind you decide you want to put on, if you're going to use a topping, don't put it on here now because they'll sit there and they'll just absorb the liquid in there and then they become mushy and soft, and it's not good. So keep your toppings separate. Maybe even put them in the little bowl next to it when you're going to serve this for the holidays or whatever meal you're going to serve it with. And then once people take some of the relish, the cranberry relish, they can just sprinkle whatever, you know, as much if they want to use the walnuts on top that they want to. And that way the nuts are going to stay fresh and they're still going to taste like walnuts. They're not going to be mushy. So I really encourage everyone to try this. It's really easy, only a couple ingredients. You can make it in your oven, it's not a big deal. But I know when I serve this, and I've been making this for several years now, when I serve this, when I have people come over, they'll just eat this, you know, they'll just get a little container and eat it. They don't care about it with their turkey. Now, it's very good with turkey, but they'll just sit and eat this stuff with a spoon. And afterwards, after everyone's eaten their fill and they can't move anymore, people will come back and get more of this, and they'll use it as a dessert. So it's really, really good. So if your only experience with having cranberries is that canned stuff that comes out and still looks like a can and is just a red log, forget that. This is not the same thing. Completely different. So this is very good. So I hope you make it. I hope you enjoy it. I hope everyone has a safe and happy Thanksgiving this year. So if you try it, let me know. And as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.